Hi, my name's Amy Hunt. I run a rescue in Grafton, Ohio. It's called Multiple Breed Rescue. I founded the rescue 20 years ago. The very short version of the story is because I bought a dog from a pet store. I was young, I was dumb, I had just graduated from college, and I didn't know any better. I did and I didn't. No one talked to me about puppy mills. I had no idea they existed. Fast forward 20 years later, and here we are. So I know better now. Uh, a lot of people like to think that I don't like breeders, that I'm against all of them. That's not true. I have friends that are breeders. I have friends that are in rescue that are breeders. Legitimate breeders aren't posting signs on the side of the road saying puppies for sale. Legitimate breeders aren't advertising all over the place. Legitimate breeders don't have litters of puppies that you can just go pick one when you call them. There's a lot that goes into breeding ethically, morally, legitimately. I just want to put that out there first and foremost. Second, I want to bring up puppy mills. There are over 550 registered high volume breeders in the state of Ohio. I won't go into the boring details of how to be registered as a high volume breeder and exactly what that means, but it's probably not what you have envisioned in your head. I'm also struggling in today's world in 2024. I'm struggling with puppy mills and how us rescues have been handling them for years. 2019, this wasn't even a thought on my head, but it's not 2019. At the end of the day, the pandemic screwed us in the humane community. It has set us back years. When I started in rescue 20 years ago, the number of dogs being euthanized was something ridiculous like 8 million. In 2019, that was cut almost in half. It was great. Things were great. Dogs getting pulled from the shelter or from a puppy mill, we'd have them roughly about 45 days. They'd get adopted out. From the moment we got them vetted. For those that don't know what vetted means, it's spayed, neutered, microchip, vaccinated, dewormed. 45 days was our average from the time we got a dog in until the time we adopted out a dog. Right now, it is April 27th of 2024, and we've had dogs in the rescue since October of 2023. November of 2023. We have puppies that were born in the rescue. We took the mom out of a shelter, and the puppies were born in the rescue. I think they're going on 13 or 14 weeks of age. There's not a single application. It's crickets. Absolute crickets. So, brings me to my moral struggle right now and what I feel in my heart. This video may cause people to be mad at me, say hateful things, and judge me. But at the end of the day, this is how I feel, and this is what I'm struggling with. I'm struggling with the Band-Aids that we as rescues are putting on this horrible problem that we have right now. What is that horrible problem? It's the people breeding and breeding and breeding and selling and breeding and selling with not a care in the world. The accidental litters, not sure how there's an accidental litter. If you have a male dog and you have a female dog and they're not fixed, Mother Nature takes over. what I'm struggling with are the people with the accidental litters that then can't sell those puppies, and they're turning to rescue. Hey, rescue, I can't sell these puppies. I've gotten myself into this predicament because I was either lazy, uneducated, didn't want to, financially couldn't, or it hurt my ego to get my dog fixed. And now I have puppies that I can't take care of because I'm not educated, I'm not financially able, and I can't sell them. So, hey, rescue, I want you to take these and get me out of this predicament that I'm in. So, as a rescue, we take them. But that person doesn't get their dog fixed, and they do it again. Because the first time they did it, there was no consequence. Now, I will tell you that I have had people call me and tell me that they've had an accidental litter. I smile, I nod, say okay, and they need help. And I say, sure, I'm going to help you, but I'm requesting, and the only way that I will help you is mom and dad get fixed, and I'll pay for it. So I do, and I have. Great. So we stopped the cycle there. And honestly, prior to now, to 2024, it was okay. I had no problem doing that. Then you have the puppy millers. This is their livelihood. How they make their money is creating puppies and selling them. But it's 2024. The dog shortage is over. Long been over. Started really feeling the pressure, lack of a better word, in the fall of 2022. So these millers have a litter of puppies, and they breed the female again. And in 120 days, they'll have another litter of puppies. But the first litter doesn't sell. One or two maybe sell, maybe all, but one or two sell. They need to get rid of them. They're aging out. No one wants a 6-month-old puppy. Ugh. The pet stores don't. So what are they going to do with it? They don't want to put it back into their breeding stock for whatever reason. I'm sure some of them that they do, but for whatever reason. So they call a rescue and they say, hey, I have these puppies that didn't sell. Will you take them? And as a rescue, we and others say, sure, we'll take them. We take them. Weeks later, month later, they have another litter of the exact same puppies that didn't sell previously. And it happens again. And it happens again. And it happens again. Because those puppy millers have no consequence. They can keep producing, and we can keep bailing them out. That is my moral struggle. There's a water main break, and we keep putting Band-Aids on it, and more Band-Aids, and more Band-Aids. But the water main break is still broken, and is still gushing water everywhere. But yet we keep doing the same thing over and over and over. I can't anymore. I can't do it anymore. I can't keep bailing out people, puppy millers, who have gotten themselves into a predicament that they can't get themselves out of. On the flip side, what is going to happen to those puppies? I don't know. I mean, I do know. I hope it doesn't, but I do know. And that I have to live with. So there's my moral struggle. Say no, they might die. Say yes, and he continues. But maybe if I keep saying no, it's gonna hit him where it hurts, in the pocketbook. Because at the end of the day, this is how they make their money, right? So, as crude as this may sound, if you owned a manufacturing company and you were manufacturing something that didn't sell, you would stop manufacturing it, right? I would think. I often say to people when I'm trying to explain this moral struggle that I'm in, try to explain. Go buy me a cassette tape. Remember cassette tapes? All of those born prior to 1985? Cassette tape. Go find me a cassette tape. Walmart carry them, Target, Best Buy. I don't know. I don't buy cassette tapes, so I don't use cassette tapes. I don't need cassette tapes. I don't know what you even use them for at this point in the world, right? So no one's really manufacturing them anymore because no one's buying them anymore. It's a moral struggle. Now, I have friends that are in rescue. A very good friend. I call her my sister rescue. For those who know me, know who I'm talking about. Woman has a heart of gold, and I love her to death. And she takes mill dogs. That is her passion, and that is her soul. And I would never, ever judge her or say anything negative about what she does. She does an amazing job. She's an amazing person, and I love her to death. In her heart, that's what she does. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. But my heart's struggling. I can't take the mill dogs anymore. I can't. And for anyone watching this that's sitting next to a mill dog, you think, oh, my baby wouldn't be here. You're right. You're right. Might not be. But others may not be produced, so they aren't in the same predicament as your sweet baby was. Do you see why this is hard? Why this is a struggle? It's hard, right? So, but what about everybody watching this that has a shelter baby? Your dog that's maybe sitting next to you right now. Maybe your dog's out in the backyard right now while you're watching this. What about your shelter baby? What if that shelter baby that you adopted didn't get pulled from the shelter? Same scenario though, right? It might not be here. So all of those who have rescued dogs from my rescue organization, your baby might not be here if it wasn't for that rescue group. But how as a rescue do you choose? How do you choose? I have to choose every day, multiple times a day. I wish this upon no one. Little kids come up to me and say, I want to be a dog rescue one day. I say, no, you don't. No, you don't. You don't want the 1 a.m. phone calls from the emergency vet. You don't want your friends, who are your friends because of rescue, who work at a shelter calling you, sitting on the floor of the vet clinic with a dog in their lap and a needle in their hand. and say, "You're my last ditch effort. If you don't take this dog, I, who did not create the dog, I, who got into this profession because they work at a shelter, so they're getting paid for this. I, as a profession, in my profession, got into this to help animals. And it is my job to kill this innocent dog because someone, somewhere, failed it. So do I tell my friend no and tell the puppy miller yes? How do you choose? One dog is gonna die. Who do I pick? Do I pick the dog that my friend has to euthanize? Or do I pick the dog that the puppy miller has, that he created, that he earns money off of, or did the other litter mates, right? Do I pick that one? Or do I pick that one? Someone dies today. Who do I pick? Me? I'm gonna pick the shelter dog because that's not fair. That's not fair that my friend has to do that. It's not fair to the dogs either, on either side. But maybe that puppy miller, it's gonna cost him money to feed it, to care for it. Maybe to put it down. It's gonna cost him money. Well, maybe next time he'll think about it. Maybe I shouldn't breed this breed anymore. It's not selling. Instead of, well, I'm gonna breed it because it might sell, but if it doesn't sell, a rescue will take it. So that's where I'm at. There is no right answer, I guess, at this point, right? So, yes, the signs on the side of the road that say puppies for sale, they're on public property, and I'm going to pick them up, and I'm going to throw them away. The signs on the telephone poles that say puppies for sale, I'm going to take them down off the telephone poles. It's public property. And I'm not going to support anyone who, accidental litter or not, has a litter of puppies that they're selling when they are not a legitimate breeder. So AIM, what's a legitimate breeder? They show they are trying to keep a breed standard going. They are ethical in the way they breed. Eyes and ears and hips and noses and whatever all the testing is for that breed is done. They know what they're breeding, and they're not breeding and hoping they sell. They're not pushing you to buy two. They're also not breeding mixed breeds. There's contracts. There's communication. There's vet paperwork. And it's not easy to get a dog from them. And well, it shouldn't be. And they're there for you. You got a question? They're there to answer. Don't call me about the dog that you purchased from God knows who, because it was a sign on the side of the road and something's wrong with that dog. Don't call me and ask me, what's wrong with this dog? How do I fix this? Should I go to the vet? Should I not go to the vet? Why don't you call the person that you bought the dog from? I'm not good enough to adopt a dog from, is how it makes me feel. but I'm good enough for you to ask for free advice. So that's where I'm at. The board and I made the decision about a year ago that we are going to focus on shelter dogs. We're going to take the dogs out of the shelters that are going to be euthanized because of space. No other reason. Space. Because there's not enough space for all of the stray dogs. There's not. So those are the dogs we're going to take in. Those are the dogs we're taking in. Go to our page, nbrohio.com. 95% of those dogs had two options: death or come live with us. Right or wrong, I'm going to focus on shelter dogs. And right or wrong, when people call me about accidental litters and ask me to help, I'm going to tell them no. I'm not helping because I can't. I have 50 something dogs in my nonprofit, 100% run volunteer organization that survives solely on donations. 50 something. For all those sitting at home with multiple dogs, 2, 3 dogs, it's a lot to take care of. I and the board are responsible for ensuring our foster homes have food and the dogs get the medical care that they need, and they're dewormed and they're heartworm and they're flea prevention, and they get groomed. They have behavioral problems. We have to work through it. Times 50. 1 times 50. I'm sorry. There has to be a line, and that's my line. We are helping shelter dogs. Now, if someone comes to me and says, I screwed up, I had a litter of puppies unintentionally, now I need to make sure they get into good homes. How do I do that? I am going to be very happy to answer that for you. I will tell you all the things that you need to do in order to make sure that those dogs go to good homes and how exactly to do that. But I'm not digging you out of the hole that you got yourself into. I'm also not going to support the sign in your yard that says puppies for sale. Not doing it. So, at the end of the day, I'm going to focus on shelter dogs. And I'm going to do the best that I can and try not to burn out. Because after 20 years, and how bad it is right now, I'm close. I'm real close. I have moments where I just want to be done. I don't want to miss my son's soccer games anymore. I don't want to work 12-hour days, 7 days a week for free. I want to focus on my training certificates. I want to focus on running my business. I want to focus on my new dog and getting her into some sports because that's what she needs. But walking away from rescue is so hard. It's a joke. It's like the mob. The only way out is death. And I can tell you, I know why veterinarian suicide is high. I'm actually surprised it's not higher in rescue community or in the dog training community. Maybe it is. Maybe the stats just aren't out on that. I'm not sure. Being in dog rescue and a volunteer organization such as mine, it's high stress, friends, for absolutely no pay. There's no raises for us when you're not getting paid. But I have a day like today. We had puppy yoga here at my facility, and the photographer was here taking pictures of all the dogs. And I saw people I haven't seen in a long time. And I saw all the dogs that were at the puppy yoga that wouldn't be here if I would have said no. And that makes you not want to stop. Until everyone leaves.